Are you the sun? Because you light up my world. Greenhouse gases are increasing, which makes a bit worse, which means it's getting hotter and hotter every day. I should know because I live in the island of good old Southeast Asia. But you see all these trees behind me, right? What if I told you you'll never see them again tomorrow? What if tomorrow's the end of the world, where the sun decides to give Earth a little sugar? And when that day comes, maybe you might think, hey, I don't want to dress up like this. Oh, I want to be like one of those Pinterest girlies. I want to layer. Oh, wait, no, it's hot. Layering is only reserved for the cold weathers. No.
This is an emergency broadcast. This is not a drill. There is a slight deviation of the Earth from its orbit and is now approaching the Sun.
Man, I spoke too soon. This is serious. Before you start layering, you have to do a body check. And this usually means how much you move throughout the day, how much you sweat, and depending on what level you're at, you can properly choose the right set of clothing for your layer. Take me for example. I don't move a lot because now it's the doomsday, so I have to stay at home. But I don't sweat easily, so my choices of clothing is more vast. And now I would like for you to take a water break. Dang, end of the world, right? I only have an onion and a bunch of canned food, which were all gobbled up by May. But take a look at this onion. Well, not the whole onion, but just peel it off a bit. It looks very compact, very small, very fresh. But when you cut it open, you can see that there are multiple of thin layers in the onion. So that is my advice for you. Be an onion. As in, whatever base you picked for your layering, you have to layer it with lightweight clothing. You can add a heavier layer, but I would suggest just stopping there. The most you can add afterwards is like accessories. You know, being a scrumptious onion can help you get the same results as these people when they layer, but with a light and heat-friendly alternative. And how do you pick these alternatives? Fabric. It's very basic, I know, but it needs to be said. You will need breathable and lightweight fabric that can manage heat very well and does not trap heat. Another term you can call it is moist wicking. I don't know, man, I just saw it during my Google search during the apocalypse and I thought that was a smart sounding term for this video. These type of fabrics may include cotton and linen. One of your safest bets, I tell you, and one that accomplishes all the criteria above. Next, shinier fabric, like silk. But silk to me can be a win or lose because if you get the right one, then it does a great job with moist wicking and keeping your body cool. But if you get the cheaper ones, which most likely are made out of synthetic fibers, then you might not get the maximum results. In fact, you may even get worse results from it. From my experience, it did not do a good job in this hot-ass weather, including in the doomsday apocalypse. I was sweating and the fabric was sticking to my skin, so that was not good too. In my opinion, I think any fabric other than that is okay to use. They're like in the middle section because, you know, sometimes it just depends on how you manage heat. So it's not the same for all people, but here are some fabric that you need to absolutely avoid: polyester and nylon, okay? Mostly because they stick to the skin when you sweat. Then we have leather and thick wool, an absolute and obvious no-no because it is dang heavy. You don't want to have extra baggage. Plus, if something's heavy, then there's more heat generated from your body. What's worse is that these fabrics have heat retention properties. So that means whatever heat emits from your body comes back to you. And that is not great when we're almost gonna get kissed by the sun. Other than that, I would opt anything that is mesh or sheer. And bonus points if they're stretchy because they are very thin, very translucent. So they are practically lightweight. Oh, lastly, anything that has holes. And it can be big holes, small holes, many holes more than a bullet can fill because they give you more airflow. And if you choose the right fabric, then you'll have a splendid time. There will be more breathability, more coolness, but you don't want anything that is too tight to the skin. So consider going looser when you want to add another layer. And if you want to add slimmer fitted clothes, then I suggest just leaving it as a base layer or just leaving it as a final layer. Looser Winter clothing provide air circulation and it's relatively light when you add it as a second layer. It also provides a cool contrast. Contrasting sizes is the way to go if you want to be aesthetics during our impending doom towards the sun. For example, if I wear these pants, then I can add an asymmetrical flowy skirt on top. Or if I wore this skirt, I will wear it with this larger jeans type of skirt. I call this move sacrificing to make room for one thing so I could wear this other thing. This is so that you can still layer while adding interesting dimensions without adding too much weight to your outfit, hence a more cooler and breathable look. Have pieces that cannot make the cut for your layers, or you think that the layers you're using are too repetitive now, then just play around with it, get creative. Feel that this netted looking shirt is too hot for you? Well, you can tie it around to create some sort of crop top-ish cardigan, and it can be a second sweat rag for you. Ooh, added functionality. Not only could you add more layers without additional baggage to your body, but you can also be seen as a wrist-tacked artist. Now, if you can't stand layering like me sometimes, especially it is close to 100 degrees Celsius at the moment, accessories is your bestest pookie bestie. I'm gonna be a broken record this one time, but accessories does add to the look so much. It also serves the same purpose as layering while also being lightweight if that's your tea. You can also use it as a substitute for whichever clothing you want, so maybe the leg warmers can be a substitute for pants. And it's functional, depending on which you choose. Honestly, I'm an aesthetic over function type of girl, but if my clothing items or accessories are functional, then I will be very happy. Since the sun is terrifyingly blinding, you gotta put yourself into the same wavelength. Darker colors often absorb heat, while lighter colors reflect it. That means if you favor darker colors, you're toast. But not in the French toast kind of way, okay? But don't worry, my pookie. If you pair black with flowiness, looseness, holes, and breathable fabric, then you're good to go. You're just minimizing the damage and you're not as burnt as before. There you go. Now we can layer aesthetically while being in this hard darn heat caused by global warming and our now sudden apocalypse. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go kiss my pookie the sun.